Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mike Meetings. It's the first episode with these guys. I'm sure there'll be many more. But Joe and Nick from Silver Investment Properties and so many other places are in the building.
What's going on? How are you guys?
So I know it's like super random because I'm sure you guys have never done a podcast ever.
Never.
But you make more calls than anybody I know. So you're used to talking.
Yeah,
Sure.
So I wanted to have you guys up here, I figured, because it's like, I think a lot of people know me from like radio and from talking to like all different artists. And like I had Juanito up here, who's like a broadcaster, my friend Corey, who's like a DJ. But I feel like people need to see all sides of corporate hip hop Mike. And you
Strictly
guys
strictly corporate.
You guys spend more time with me these days than anybody in the whole world.
That's true.
So I figured it was only right we chop it up. How you guys feeling today? What's going on?
Chilling, man. Well, we've seen both sides of you, even from the jump. The first week you worked with us, we went to etiquette, we saw hip hop, we saw you plugged in everywhere, and then we saw corporate when you put the work in. It's like, so no, you're right.
Facts.
I appreciate it. You just talk in the mic just so
my bad.
No, you're good. They'll hear you, but don't worry. Well, I mean, when you guys first met me, what did you think? Did you see me when I walked in the office? Was I like super random?
I remember seeing this guy walk in with an MCM bag. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, here we go. I knew nothing about you. Didn't hear anything from Adam. And we're just like, okay, like, let's see how it goes. A guy that was on radio, he has, people experience. He could talk to people, could be promising.
You guys knew I was on the radio when I came in?
Yeah, I think you said something like the first couple conversations we had, how you did this, you went from here.
Gotcha.
You did the TED Talk, you met Debbie, and you're like, all right, like, maybe we could run something up here.
So yeah, I met Debbie through the TED Talk. When I first came in the office, I didn't think like anybody would have like ever like known, and I was like happy with that. I was like, nobody knows what the fuck I ever did. I'm gonna lay low. It was pretty quick before Adam, I feel like, told everybody, but Josh, I feel like, was the only kid that like was like, yo, you have a mic? Like, I seen you before. And I was like, fuck, I hope this kid isn't here for long. And he wasn't. No, I'm just kidding. Shout out to Josh. But yeah, man, it was definitely a big change of events. What were you guys doing before Silver Properties?
I was working in a steel yard.
A steel yard?
Shit like that, yeah.
How about you, Anzalone?
College dropout.
What were you in college for?
Well, I was studying finance, but I was playing football there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were there more for the football, not so much for finance.
I committed to play football there. Didn't play. But just like saw the vibes and it was not it for me.
No?
Like you gotta, bro, it's a different level. Like you gotta be dedicated to that.
Well, you're dedicated to everything you do. I feel like...
No, it is, but it's different. Like, it's no longer a game. Like you quickly realize like you're in a business, and to me it was like a business that was not making me any money.
Wait, so how is it like a business?
Bro, first of all, your day starts at probably 4:30 in the morning. Like you wake up 4:30, lift at 5, like so you're up at 4:30 I should say. Immediately lifting, running, film, school, team breakfast, school again, team lunch, meetings before like your afternoon classes.
Wow.
Your afternoon classes are done, and then practice.
So it's like a full-time job.
Full-time job, bro. And no one cares about you. Because think about it, like the coaches, every coach, bro, is probably at a school for no more than 4 years at most.
Wow. So they were in school like...
And every school, even no matter where you are, even like... You saw like Nick Saban do it at Alabama, like try to get a job, I think, with the Dolphins. Like no matter what, you're constantly trying to get like somewhere else. So they don't really care about like the kids per se. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
All they're trying to do is get like a good enough of a record, build up the program, maybe 2-3 years, and then leave.
So it's all about just looking good and getting out.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Is there like a misconception? Because I'm assuming through high school, you probably went crazy with football to get into college.
Yeah, no, I mean, of course, but it's, again, when you're in high school, your coach is a teacher. You know what I mean? So like,
got you.
You want to talk about someone that's like invested into the school, like who more than like the people paying your paycheck, like as a teacher.
Well said.
You know what I mean? So you get to college and it's more so like an athlete just being on like a pro team. Like you really just have like a contract.
Gotcha.
And it's like for 4 years. Whereas a teacher, like you have to be bought in for 20 years to like get that retirement fund.
Gotcha. So they're more committed to the school.
You're teaching there, and you have a good 20 years. Like even William Floyd like has Coach Longo, I think, like our coach was there for like 15 years. You know, like you go up and down. Like Connecticut High School has the same coach. You know, these high schools retain the coaches for 20 plus years.
Wow.
A college, if it's not Alabama, I mean, you look at even Ohio State, they had Urban Meyer, and now it's somebody else. Like even big schools, it goes in too quick. Like Deion Sanders is a perfect example.
I was going to say,
Jackson State, bro. Look at what he did. He revitalized the whole community. You know, the whole school, and now he's into Colorado.
And now he's
that was
out.
2 years. You know? So,
yeah, and people were pissed at him.
I mean, for no reason. For no reason. Good for him.
It should be expected, you're saying.
It should be. But it's hard, though, as a player, though, to, like, be bought into the program when you know they don't care about you.
Well said.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you're young. It's like you're getting in there thinking that they're going to be, like, committed to helping you become,
and
like...
as a recruiting process, that's all they do. Oh, we'll be with you. You know, don't worry. The second like you get on campus, no one knows your name. Like, they, like, forget completely about you. You're just a nobody.
Are there, like, priority players? Is there, like 2 or 3 guys that get all the attention, or is it...
Yeah, I mean, of course, you know, when you, like... At any school, you have like there's stud players, but you know that have been there for maybe they're a junior, have been playing since they were a freshman. You know, those guys definitely get like a lot of the attention. The school I went to, we had a lot of guys go pro.
Really?
Some are still in the practice squad. I know one of them is overseas playing ball. So definitely,
It seemed like it was a lot more like personal in high school with the coaches and stuff like that.
yeah, no, for sure. I mean,
That's pride. Like, we went to the LIC. Like,
think about though, like even in our office, like we see each other every single day for 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
So like you just mentioned before, like, oh, we see you more than anybody. It's like, I see everyone in our office more than I even see my girlfriend, my family, my apartment. Like,
Everybody,
like not even a person, my apartment. Like, so yeah. When it's in high school, it's the same thing. They're your teacher. A lot of times you go to them and you have a 45-minute class with them in your period, and then you have lunch, and a lot of times you're just in their classroom.
So they know you
to
on and
develop
off the
like
field.
a rapport with one another, opposed to just being like in college and they're just like every coach is a specific, like there's 100 coaches and it's like for a specific like position. So for me, it was like my quarterback coach knew obviously who I was, but I couldn't tell you that the D-line coach knew who I was, nor did like I really know who he was. I couldn't name his name.
Got
It's
you.
it's
There's a
different.
disconnect there for sure.
Definitely.
Did you play any sports, Joe?
No, I was a kid that rode a skateboard around, biked around,
Okay.
did stupid shit with my friends.
You said you were working in a steel.
A steel yard.
What is a steel yard?
So basically,
I'm not even sure either.
We talking gridiron gang
Yeah, no.
for real over
Get down with
here.
it. It's like they did a lot of custom fab work. They made headers for like houses and stuff like that, columns. We built part of the UBS arena, like stuff like that.
Okay.
You know, welding, doing anything. Basically, somebody would bring us a project. I need this made out of this kind of material, this size, and we just put it all together, install it, and then be out.
Do you have like burns up and down your
Yeah,
arms?
my hands are all like scarred up and shit from like weld marks and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, battle wounds, you know.
I mean, I guess people don't really know how you guys know each other. I'm a little familiar, but you guys are brothers or
Step brothers.
Yeah, stepbrothers.
okay.
Our
brothers.
parents met when I was probably like 6, give or take.
No, I think.
I've never.
Oh, maybe yeah.
Sophia
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like 1,
Yeah, you were in 1998. Yeah, I was like 3. And how many years older are you?
2.
Okay, so you were like 5.
Yeah. So we've been down since like diapers. We always like
Yeah, no, like I don't think either one of us know life like without one another. So
I was gonna say
we're not blood, but it's blood.
I always
You know what I mean?
assumed
Like,
you guys were identical, like the same age, everything.
It's just we've always done everything together. It's like we grew up at such a young age that like I never had a brother, he never had a brother. It was like, and that was the brotherly bond that we were both looking for, and just over time became super close, and like our friends combined, and it was just a whole big group of doing stupid, fucked up shit.
I've never met 2 people that are more alike but more different at the same time. It's like it's so wild.
Yeah, it is.
So how do you guys end up in real estate? Like which one of you was in it first, and what was okay?
No, so when I was in college, Ice.
Okay.
Shout out Ice, but I was following Ice on the gram for like a minute. Like he was posting like crazy cars, iced out watches and shit, and like obviously I was always drawn towards flashy
The
money
Lux
things.
life.
Yeah, whatever.
How did you find his Instagram? Was he just
No,
pop
so-
up on your page, or you knew him like in real life?
I think initially, this was like years ago, maybe like 2016, he popped up on like my For You page. He had maybe a Bentley or some shit at the time.
Okay.
And whatever, I just followed him, and then it was actually one of my high school games was televised.
Okay.
And he happened to be flipping through like the channels or whatever and just turned it on, and just because I'm the quarterback, they kept saying my name or whatever. So he happened to look like on Instagram, saw that I followed him, followed me back, and we just like started DMing each other.
Oh, wow.
So that was my senior year of high school. So I went to college, but we would stay in touch, like really honestly talk like almost every day. And it came to a point like halfway through the season, I was just over like football, college, like all of it. So I'm like, yo, like, what do you actually do? Like for a living?
Because he's not out there.
Yeah,
like he's like a boxer. And
yeah. So I'm like, what do you actually do? So he's like, oh, I do like commercial real estate. And I'm like, I'm not even sure what that means. Like, like, are you on commercials? Like, what the fuck does that even mean? I'm like, you selling houses? Like, I had no idea.
That's so funny.
So it was like around the time of Christmas break. He's like, why don't you just come in when you're home from college on Christmas break, talk to Adam, owner of the company, and like I'll show you like what I do. And I just fucking got there, talked to Adam, and just like fell in love. Like I completely bought into like everything.
Adam recruited you for real, for real.
Yeah, I mean he didn't want me necessarily to drop out of college, but I was just like so fed up with it. I was a finance major taking oceanography classes and like these crazy things. Like, and I was just over it. Like, and Adam just said like, the best way to succeed is to like, they say like, take a bridge to an island and burn the bridge. And it's true. And like, you figure out like, you'll build your house like in theoretically, and figure out ways to survive. And like, that's really what I did. So after Christmas break, I knew I was dropping out of college. I was like, let me just finish out the whole year. So I did nothing like the next like 4 or 5 months in college.
I was going to say, teach me something about oceanography.
Yeah, no, I couldn't. Coral bleaching. That's all I remember.
Coral bleaching. You see, that's as unfamiliar to me as commercial real estate was to you in the beginning. Yeah. Coral bleaching is crazy. That sounds terrible.
Can you explain about that a little bit?
Well, coral bleaching actually.
It sounds terrible for coral.
No, yeah.
It's crazy too because when we go on vacation, we do the like diving or whatever. Yeah. I see it. And that's the only reason I remember it.
Is that why the coral is white like that?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Like the like pretty colorful coral. Whatever the fuck is going on in the world, that part I missed, but I just know that something bad's happening and the coral's turning white. And like you can actually see it all over.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It's killing the coral.
Coral bleaching. If you go scuba diving or snorkeling, keep an eye out. You heard it here first. So that's crazy. So you built the bridge to the island, burnt the bridge, and Silver Properties.
My island was Silver Properties, yeah.
So what year did you get into it?
2019. Yeah, I've been doing it like 5 years, almost.
You were a baby
4 or 5 years. Yeah, I was 18 at the time.
And that's like going right into the pandemic. Like, how was that? Like getting started as something brand new with a whole different.
Nah, I mean, Joe's probably heard this story too many times.
And when did you get into it? Did you get in pre-pandemic too, or
no? So I was in an investment firm, just doing stocks and stuff like that for like probably a year. He was just starting to say, bro, you gotta check this out. It seems like it's the real deal. There's a lot of potential here. Like, come over. I'm like, nah, fuck that. Like, do your thing. I'll figure it out later on. And then I started working at the steel place. After like a year of being there, I got hurt on the job. I was like, all right, I don't know what I'm really doing here. He's like, just come talk to Adam. You know how Adam is. He's convincing on every level.
He's the best sales guy in the office.
No, ridiculous. So I took the interview. I was sitting there thinking about it. I went back to work at the steel place. And then I got a text from him. He's like, bro, fuck that place. They don't care about you. He's like, rip it off like a Band-Aid. Quit right now. And I quit that day and started working at Silver the next day.
Wow.
What year was that though?
2021.
It was 2021, right?
Yeah. It was like in August.
So you had a full year in without Joe, just
probably like a
full year and a half. Yeah, but the way I started in 2019 in May, I was 18. I was 18 at the time when I started.
That's
crazy when I look back at it, but yeah, I started in May 2019.
So you get like a good like 8-9 months in, and then pandemic hits.
Yeah, bro, and I had things going on, but I didn't make any money for a full 12 months, like the way it ended up working. So I had stuff going on heading into like 2020. I remember I had maybe like 5 deals in contract, and like 3 of them died.
Oh my God.
And I had literally no money. Like I remember sending like a bank account a picture of my bank account to Stu. I think it had like $11 in it. Like I had no money. And like I don't come from money either, so it was not easy. Like it was very hard. But going into the new year, I had like a couple deals that were supposed to close like in March. Like those 2 deals I had left. Okay. So then all this news started coming out about all this shit, and like both of those deals were like very rocky. Like one of the buyers was getting financing, and the banks were like, we don't know if we're going to be lending. And the guy's like, I'm going to have to drop the deal. And the other was a shopping center in Farmingville, like out east, with like mom and pop tenants. And obviously the world shut down, so they're like, I don't know how we're gonna pay.
Yeah, there's no.
And the buyer was like, rent. Yeah, the buyer's like, I can't buy it. And like, how am I gonna pay the bank? Like.
So for people that have no idea what the fuck we're talking about, to break it down, essentially he got into this business. But like, if you make a deal, like if you call somebody and they say, yeah, you know, I'd have interest in selling my real estate, there's a lot of time that kind of, you know, takes place between that agreement of like, yeah, I want to sell, to like actually getting the check. You know, there's due diligence where like people, I mean, you want to explain how like the process of actually making a deal? Because it's so funny. He's talking about going into pandemic, and it's like you have money on the line, and then everything starts changing and you're like waiting for it.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, it could take me and Joe done a deal.
4 or 6 months?
No, way longer.
You talking about Newberry?
Yeah, we signed that up in like October, and we didn't close till May. We didn't close till May because we were in Florida.
Well, that's why we went to Florida.
November, December, January, February, March, April, May. 7 months. 7 months from like a signed contract to like closing. That's crazy.
Yeah, shit just take. There's always things that are going to come up. Like you never, I mean, we had a deal. It was me, him, and Brett. All different properties being sold. We had an exact closing date on the same exact day, all 3 of us, and none of us actually closed on that day. It was all different days. Like, it's so random.
It's nerve-wracking, like without even the pandemic kicking in.
No, especially like...
True.
Yeah, I mean, we don't make anything hourly. We don't make salary.
Yeah, nah,
you know what I mean?
You gotta close deals.
And for me at the time, then I was 19. And for me, like I said, I had no money. And I think between both deals, I was making like 25,000. And at the time I was like, yo, this is all the money in the world. I remember thinking to myself in my room, like, wow, my life is going to change with 25,000.
Yeah.
Like, and now I'm like,
now it's nothing.
It's not that it's nothing. I mean, 25,000 is a lot of money, but I was at the time like thinking like my life is going to change. Like it's going to be so different. Like I'm going to be able to help my mom do all these things. And now like I look back, I'm like, bro, for anyone, $25,000 a year, bro. Like you could work at McDonald's probably part-time and make $25,000. But it comes in such like a big check, and like you just open up your bank account, you have $25,000. Like that doesn't happen from working at McDonald's. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. I heard a quote. I think it was like an Elon Musk quote, low key, but he was like, it's easier to make 10,000 than to save 10,000. And I think people don't realize, like in real estate, you get these big checks, but they come after like 9 months of making nothing.
Yeah.
And for you to be like brand new in a business, I mean, you also to come into this business like fresh, young as fuck, needing money, you know, leaving college to do this and waiting around, and then pandemics hit and it's like you don't know what's happening. That has to be really nerve-wracking to get started. When did things kind of start shifting? Like, I mean, I guess you got this 25,000.
No, that year, yeah. So that in the pandemic, like the pandemic was horrible for like so many people. I mean, thank God for really everyone in our business. It was a good time. The Fed just kept lowering interest rates and it kept them very low. So buyers were like, all right, if the tenant's paying rent, the bank's giving me money and charging me nothing for it. They're charging 3%. So I'll buy whatever. Yeah. And that's when cap rates like started to shift down.
So Joe comes in and you guys start getting a little momentum. Cap rates are coming down and more deals are happening.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went 2020. That was a year, that was like when I first started closing like those 2 deals, like in the middle of like April, May were those first 2 deals. And then that year, I think I closed maybe like 3 or 4 others. Like I closed like 5 or 6 deals like in that year between like April to December. Like shit just started to click. I don't know what the fuck it was. It just starts
going.
And then the momentum carried into 2021. I just like kept telling Joe, I'm like, bro, like you just have to come.
So you weren't even there yet. You're watching him start to make money.
I'm saying. Because I'm sure he was waiting for me to be like, yo, is it paying off? Or
like that's what Scally and Bruno do.
Yeah, no, which I get. So
what was the first thing you did with that check when you first made money? When it went from $11 to $25,000? You
know what's funny? As soon as I got it, bro, I was like, I remember crying to go get the check. I remember being like, this is going to be like so crazy. I don't even know what I'm going to do. Yeah. And I got it. And like my emotions didn't match like what just happened to me. Like it was weird. I got it. And I'm like, what am I going to do with this? Like nothing's changing. I'm like, I remember I picked it up at like 12 and Adam was in his office and slid the check under the door because it was like in the middle of COVID. Oh. Yeah. And so I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do? So like I literally just went home after fucking lunch and started making more calls.
Wow. And that's it, got right to work.
Nothing changed. It wasn't like an instant gratification thing for me. I thought it was going to be, and I was so excited for it, but I realized like as soon as I got the check, I'm like, bro, it's not even like the money that I'm after.
Yeah, no, it's an opportunity to do more.
It was for me, like now that I'm older, everything, like it's the freedom. Like, and I think I realized that like when I got my first check, like, you know what I mean? I was not like, if it was about the money, that shit would have made me so happy.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it literally did nothing for me. I'm like, I need to make this like every week. Like I need to be able to do whatever I want, whenever I want, take care of my mom, my sisters. That was my thought process. That's just how it clicked. And then like the rest of the year, the shit just started clicking. Like I remember in that year, I had 2 closings in one day. Like shit just started going crazy. Yeah.
And you see it works.
Yeah. I mean, it's what the business you're saying?
Yeah. Just the fact that you could put that time in, make your calls, and then something will come from it. Yeah.
I mean, you could see in the office, it's like the people that make calls, you make money. You know what I mean? It's well like said. You have to give yourself, you have to put yourself in the position to succeed. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like if you're not going to do what it takes to put yourself there, nothing's going to come of it.
It's not going to change.
And a lot of kids, like a lot of the younger kids in our office are that way.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the thing about you guys is like, it definitely takes a lot. Like it says a lot about your character that you're so young and chasing it in such a way. Cause I feel like so many people come in and they just like, they want to make money and they don't put the effort into making money, into like actually learning the business. They're just like, yeah, all right, I make like 20 calls and I'll stumble into something.
Is like they see
the bigger picture at the end. Like what?
You know what it is?
They see the Bentley.
They see like the end result.
Instagram.
Yeah.
No, they see the end result. Yeah, like me. Like I don't really talk to too many people, but like they see like me on vacations, my car, like all this different shit. It's like, yo, what the fuck? And
it's funny.
That's why like so many people in the office like know me. It's like, you know what I mean?
Because you got the money.
No,
your money,
whatever. But it's like. And not even that I like try to flash it, but it's like when your lifestyle changes, it's like that's the shit you post.
It's
like,
just natural, yeah.
Yeah, it's like you stop posting like your fucking mom's house, and it's like, oh, you're posting shit like in the background. It's like a big fucking like whatever the case may be on vacations. And I think like they don't realize how hard it is to like get there. You know what I mean? Like I tell everybody, even the new kids, like it took me a full year to make $1, bro. A full year. Imagine going a full 52 weeks and not making $1.
And working full time.
Working, bro, 10-hour days. And the only thing you have going is people that are making a shit ton of money in the office going, believe in yourself, kid. Keep going. Keep going. We'll buy you lunch today.
Yeah.
And like, I look at, I don't know if today I could do it. Like the way I did it. Like I literally like, it's crazy.
I think it's interesting too because you kind of got into it seeing what Isom was doing and seeing like, okay, this guy has it like this.
Yeah.
Came in, saw maybe it wasn't like that and still decided to go hard. And then you come in and I mean, what's it like? Because you see he's making money. Did you come in thinking that it was going to be a certain way or what really motivated you to make that jump?
So my biggest issue at first was like when I worked at that investment firm, I hated having an office job. I was always like a hands-on guy. I liked fucking doing shit outside, working my ass off, and getting back into another office job kind of scared me at first. But like, obviously,
it's all good.
The money was kind of like motivating. It was like I could work with him. That'd be fun as hell, and it just seemed like a good environment. You know, obviously, the idea of making no money kind of sucked. I had some money saved up to go into it and not worry about, you know, not making money for a full year or whatever it, you know, need be. But I think definitely the younger, newer kids that come in see everyone that's making money and think it's as easy as possible. Like, oh, I could do this. Like, if I just come in, make a couple calls, and it's like, in reality, it's not that easy. You know, it's a hard job. You're stressed out, especially if your back's against the wall and you're making no money. You have nothing in your bank account. Like when he started, it's like, you know, you got to think about there's no down from there. You can only keep going up. So work your ass off and keep trying to build and see if you can make it or not.
Did you make it pretty quick, or did it take you some time also?
Joe, bro, off the rip.
My first month, I had a deal in contract, which took like 6 to 7 months to close.
No, it did take forever, but when you get a deal in contract, it's like
it's motivating.
There's relief. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you see the board and it's like, what, you made like 20,000 off it? Not to like call your numbers out. Like when you look at the board, bro, and it's like
you see there's something there.
It's like, bro, you have 20K in one check, like in exactly like what you just said, like one fucking lump sum of 20,000. Like,
seems life changing at the time.
No, really bro, for real. It's like it could take you.
I know the vibes. I came in, I had like literally 2 cents. Like I could show y'all July this year, or I guess last year, 2022. I had 6 cents in the bank. By the end of the year, it was like literally 100 times that. Like it's crazy. It's wild shit, man. So
dude, it's crazy. It really
so you got a deal going quick, but it was on the board, and then it took 7 months to close.
Yeah, that wasn't even my first.
Yeah, you closed one before that, right?
Yeah, that wasn't even the first deal I closed on. I put that in the contract, and then maybe like a month or two later, I put a CVS in the contract, and that ended up closing before that one.
Alachua.
How did real estate like shift your perspective? Like, because obviously growing up, I don't think any of us thought like we'd be in this business.
I didn't even know you can invest into owning a Taco Bell. Taco Bell corporate was like, hey, Taco Bell owns that. Great, you know.
Yeah,
whatever.
I think it's the bigger picture is like society. Like that's a problem on society, honestly. Like the government, like there needs to be a financial literacy class implemented in every single school. How can like, and I bet you in like richer towns like Syosset, all these like, or St. Anthony's, like those kids know of it. I can't imagine that they don't. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're just around people that like
familiar with it.
But from where we come from, it's like people are plumbers, people are electricians, like
you really
it's blue collar, like you know what I mean? Like they're working with their hands, like mechanics, like making 85,000. Like we don't know like that a Wendy's can be owned by like us. Yeah, like literally us, like a guy that just wears sweatpants and like a t-shirt. Like that's crazy. Like the real estate part of it.
Ever since getting into real estate, I definitely look at the world in like a whole different way.
Yeah,
like driving around, I'm like, oh, that's probably collecting this much in rent every month. And it's interesting because you don't, like, you're right. You know, depending where you grow up, you don't see it. And like, I've been fortunate enough, like I've lived around people who do own property. Nowhere near the property we sell. You know, they own like, you know, mom and pop stores and things like that. And, you know, even being around a guy like that or guys like that that own these smaller strips or these taxpayers, you know, they're collecting money, but it's so much work. You look at it as like these guys are, you know, they have to maintain the building. They have to go. And it doesn't really seem like all the money comes, you know, just off of investment. To see things from the perspective of like, you could own a Taco Bell, sit back, and literally collect money.
Yep.
I know.
It's a whole different ball game.
I try to tell people, I'm like, they're like, oh, what does it entail? And I'm like, literally all you do is collect rent. They're like, it's impossible. Like that is literally, that's all you do.
That's it.
It's literally like
nothing.
It seems like
every day.
It seems like it shouldn't exist. Like, like you just own something and you're not responsible for even paying the taxes. Like you literally do nothing.
Passive income. You're just
crazy.
It, literally.
It's a crazy game the government has set up.
No, yeah, it is, for sure.
It's so true when they say like you're a product of your environment. Like if you're growing up in a neighborhood that's like middle class, blue collar, chances are you're not finding out about
all
any
you know.
of that until like unless you want to be motivated and start YouTubing things and doing your own research.
But that's the problem. Like that's why it's like just a fucking like a hamster on a fucking circle. And everything just keeps going the same way. Like no one teaches you to break out of the system.
It's a rat race.
You know what I mean? It's like 90% of the kids, maybe even higher, that like went to our high school are going to do the same shit. Live in Lindenhurst. Their kids are going to go there. It's a generation thing. You know, they're going to stay in the town of Babylon. And it's like
crazy how controlled everything really is and nobody's
become teachers, but whatever. I just think also like the truth of it is not everyone wants to necessarily be rich, I think, honestly. I know too many people.
I think everybody wants to be rich. I don't think everybody wants to put the work in to learn how.
I don't know. I think everyone wants to be financially free, like not have like stresses and worries.
All right.
But I don't think everyone wants to be rich. I know a lot of people that just want to be teachers. Like they just want to help the world.
Yeah.
They just like, you know what I mean? Obviously they want to be able to afford their bills, but you're not rich if you can afford your bills. You're you're just financially free. I don't think everyone wants to be rich. And I think that's that's also what keeps the government and our world going. You need people to be teachers, to be cops, to to change your oil.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about like what motivates people, because I feel like people that want to be teachers, for example, it's like they want to be rich, but they don't realize like that's never going to get you there. It's like you can't, like if you want to do something, you have to take action to do something.
Yeah.
You know, and you have to enjoy what you do at the same time. So if you enjoy being a teacher, you're going to get a lot out of that, but it might not necessarily lead to the same financial freedom that doing commercial real estate or, you know, even stock investing, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people too, though, that are in positions, at least I could say for myself, like I didn't realize, like if I was a barber, I thought, oh, okay, to get rich, I have to own a barber shop. If I was on radio, I'm like, oh, to get rich, I have to do more bookings. A lot of people, I think, get so kind of tunnel vision in the thing that they're doing, and they see how they can maybe grow at that they don't think outside of the box at like what other opportunities might be fulfilling, but also provide that financial freedom. Yeah.
And I think that, again, though, it all circles back to like, you're not taught that. How are you supposed to know if you're not taught all these other things? Like, you know what I mean? Like, who's supposed to, especially if your parents don't come from it, you don't like.
Yeah, you have no idea.
Forget about school. It's like you don't have like a provider to tell you. So well, how are you ever supposed to know?
What would you say to somebody who's like, you know what, these guys seem like they're happy as shit. They're living their best life. Where do you start? Because I think the other thing is people hear like, just buy a Taco Bell. You don't need to have 100% of the money that the Taco Bell costs. So where do you start? How much money do you think somebody needs to have to just start getting into investing, even if it's not at the scale that we're doing it with commercial? Do you feel like 20,000 is enough?
Bro, there's
buying stocks and stuff like that.
Stocks, but you can own real estate with 5,000. Like there's companies that like I think there's a company maybe called Yield Street, that they build like multifamily apartments, anything like that. And they have like a massive goal. Like if it's 80 million, and like you just put in your 5,000 and you own whatever that percentage of the 80 million or whatever the goal is. Like if the goal is 10 million, you put in 10,000, like you own whatever the percentage is. So you can do it with anything. It just, but it doesn't necessarily have to be real estate. There's a bunch of different things you can do.
Well, you got to take the initiative. It's like, I think that's the other part is, again, like if you're a teacher or if you're somebody that's working with this day-to-day gig, you make $500 a week, $1,000 a week. If you really buckle down in a year, you can own something that's starting to kind of get the ball rolling on that financial freedom while doing something that you enjoy doing.
Yeah. But like you just said, it's harder to save it than it is to make it.
Exactly. Well said.
Everyone's just like so focused. And I think social media has a big play into this, that everyone's focused on getting rich quick.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way. It really doesn't. You need to buckle down. You need to study all your shit. You need to really work hard, and it will build progressively over time. And a lot of people just see on social media, this guy driving a new Lambo, this guy trading stocks and living in Dubai. Like it's really like that's just a false hope in a way.
Go ahead.
Like that's the goal, obviously, at the end. But social media is just making it seem so much more easier and achievable than it actually is. And then when people actually start putting in the work, they get a little scared about it, and it's a lot for somebody.
Yeah. Do you guys think that it's easier to make money, or do you think it's easier to spend money?
It was funny. Stu always says, and I can attest to it now. It's like, I'm very good at spending money, but I'm also very good at making it. You know what I mean? So it's like, but is it easier to spend it or make it? I mean, it's definitely spend it. I don't even know why I'm thinking about it so hard. Of course, it's too easy.
Quick.
I have such a hard time spending money. Like I've spent I've spent a lot of money.
No, you do not
and
have a problem spending money.
Well, but it's hard to do. Like because I think the thing about real estate, and again, people don't realize it doesn't come in one shot. Like it comes in one shot, but it takes so much time.
No, it does. Yeah,
and the more I spend,
exactly though. But it's like, even if you make a check for 40,000 and it takes 8-9 months, whatever. It's like, think about the hundreds of calls, thousands, like 50,000 calls, calls that you made between. It's like, so it doesn't pay. But I saw someone, I think like one of those Tate brothers. I don't really watch them, but he was like, half my money I spend like I'm gonna live the next 50 years, and half the money I spend I spend like I'm gonna live the next 50 days. I think so many people get caught up in like trying to save up all this money, but it's like once you have it, it's like what are you trying to do with it?
Well, that's where I was going with the question. What are you guys trying to do with this money?
Enjoy it. Like honestly, I think it's like too much people get caught up in like in trying to save it, but for what? Like you can literally die tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then what are you gonna do? You're gonna give your mom your 400,000? What is honestly your mom gonna do with your 400,000? It's like
the thing for me. I feel like I didn't realize until I was older, but I always was doing things that I enjoyed doing. Obviously, with the barbering, with the radio. And I would do them to the point where I didn't enjoy them anymore.
Yeah.
I think in getting into commercial real estate and the investing and just doing stuff on the side of like business, you know, like corporate side, whatever. I think it gives me the freedom to do what I love to do and the way I want to do it. Like anybody that's out there that's like doing something that they really enjoy doing, and the more you're doing it, you're like, I don't know if I enjoy this anymore. Because I think even with teaching, right, it's like somebody might become a teacher because they enjoy like really educating people, but then they get in and they realize it's not just educating, it's about making lesson plans. It's about, you know, conserving a budget. You know, same for police. You might get in because you like protecting the community, but you get in and you're like, oh, I have a quota. I have to write X amount of tickets. And it starts kind of killing the job for you. You know, there's other things that you could do. Like, I mean, we're doing a podcast right now. I never had so much fun talking to anybody, honestly, like in my life that I've had with these couple of episodes. And it's because I do it on my own terms.
Yeah.
So, you know, even with real estate, I don't know. Like, do you guys love the business of real estate? Do you want to be in real estate forever? Because I think I want to be investing in real estate forever, but I don't know about making the calls forever.
No, I mean, I don't think anybody.
I feel like anyone that's in this industry, the end goal is to get out, but be an investor. It's like, you know, you learn the industry, you hustle your ass off for the first couple of years, however long it takes you to get to that investing standpoint, and then it's a learning experience while you're doing it.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody wants to necessarily be like a broker forever, but in the same sentence, it becomes very easy to be a broker and have a lot of passive income.
Yeah.
Look at Adam. He gets a lot of motherfuckers that call him, hey, I want to sell, hey, I want to buy. It's very easy. Look at Marty, bro.
Yeah.
Marty lives in a mansion wherever in Florida and makes still like $100K a year just from like doing nothing. Sending out listings. You just have a couple buyers. So,
I mean, I feel
do I want to make calls for the rest of my life? Of course not. But I'm gonna make as much as I fucking can in these next 10 years while I'm still fresh. That it will pay off the 10 years after, and I'm never gonna have to make another phone call a day in my life.
Marty's honestly a great example. He's what, like 70, 75? Like he just sits back, he can click a button.
Yeah.
Well, I'm starting to get addicted to making deals, honestly.
That's where it becomes addictive.
Because it's so much fun. Like making calls is like, once you get somebody on the phone that's like, you know what, I'd consider doing something with my property. That's like when the real fun starts.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Like I want to make deals forever.
Yeah. No, that's true, but that's exactly my point. It's like you make enough of those calls, enough of those deals. Like it only takes 10 guys to remember you. Honestly, 10 guys that buy 1-2 buildings a year, you know, or 5 guys out of those 10, 5 guys that just buy one thing every year. Like I'm at the point now where I have a few buyers that buy something every year, and literally the first of the year. Like Harry calls me and he's like, yeah, I need to buy 3 things. And it's like, all right, now we have contracts out on 2 things.
There you go.
I didn't even do anything. Like he called me.
So it's just mostly about making the connection, you guys think?
I think towards like, as I got deeper into the career, it's not the money you're chasing, it's the deals. Like
yeah,
that's the
straight up.
exciting point. Like the gratitude of, you know, closing a deal, getting a deal in contract. It's just it's just exciting, the whole process of going through it. Not so much the money at the end. Yeah, obviously, you know, money makes the world go around, but
what do you guys think is the biggest difference between working at Silber or working at like some of these other firms that maybe aren't like private?
The freedom. You can wear sweatpants to work, you know, you can come and go whenever you want. The boss is awesome, takes care of you, he's buying you lunch. Everyone that works there, like meeting you, like it's honestly like a second family, all of us there. It's like the bonding experience we have.
Yeah, I feel like Adam stresses like us enjoying ourselves, like on top of making the deals. He's like, I want you to make deals, but I want you to be happy while you make deals. Like when we were in La Jolla, I had a buyer calling me and Adam's like, you're not picking up the phone right now. You have to enjoy yourself. If you pick up the phone, you're going to be stressed the fuck out. Don't stress out. You have to, when you talk to people, you want to talk to them with a good attitude. I feel like that's went a long way for me. Like I try to really keep all the interactions as like positive as possible.
It's not corporate. That's the best thing about it. It's like there's no stress of wearing a suit and tie every day and like going to work. You have to hit these numbers and like, I mean, obviously that's a mental thing and personal that you want to hit certain numbers and have like a goal, but you know, you're not stressing that it's like, all right, I'm going to work 9 to 5. It's like, I tell everyone that first starts working at Sober, like I haven't worked a day in the last 2.5 years. Like I go in happy. I used to look forward to the weekends. Now I'm looking forward to the work week. Just like can't wait for Sunday to be over so I can go back into work.
Do you guys have a favorite deal?
Favorite deal?
CVS Alachua. I don't know.
I definitely have to say Panera Bread because you guys got me the craziest Panera sign, the club, like to celebrate that. Like the first money I made ever.
Shout out Etiquette.
Shout out Etiquette. Shout out Richie. Shout out you guys.
That was fun.
But that was my favorite. And then I'd say the second favorite is like any deal I've done with Amanda is like always an adventure. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite because they're the most fun. I get stressed the fuck out. But like working with Amanda is like she tells you to say the craziest shit.
She's a savage, bro.
And you're like, fuck, I don't know if I have the balls like this, Amanda. Like, you got bigger balls than me.
She's good at what she does.
But it's a lot of fun. Does anything come to mind?
Favorite deal?
I mean, me and him closed our first deal together, which was pretty cool. We closed Popeyes in Newberry, South Carolina.
Yeah.
And after that closed, we went out to Florida. We flew to Tampa for the weekend.
Similar vibes.
Yeah.
Sick.
Similar vibes. Popeyes.
Yep, on the sign, like bottle service. Like,
yeah.
That was cool. So,
you guys got a Popeye sign?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I got to see that video.
Those days are long over for
that
me.
was probably like one of my favorite deals just because it was the first one we did together. Like, it's exciting. It's like a milestone in a way. It's like.
Sick.
Yeah, I don't have one.
No?
He's got too many to think
He loves
about,
all his deals.
To me, it's like it's another day. Like Adam always says the same thing, bro. It's like, why aren't you happy? Like your deal just closed. I'm like, bro, like it's what I'm supposed to do.
And it's
like,
one less thing on the board.
Yeah, no, but it's like it's what I'm supposed to do. Like, why you're gonna like pat me on the back for like shit I'm supposed to do?
my job. It's like
Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's like, does fucking a receiver get happy every time he catches a pass?
Well said.
Probably not. Like, you know what I mean? It's like he's supposed to do it. If he like, if anything, you get angry when you don't catch anything. Like, that's when you show emotion. But to do shit you're supposed to do, it's like, no.
good point.
That's a good point. I mean, I can't argue with that.
No, yeah.
So what you said, Amanda was your favorite deal? Whichever one you've done with her.
I
Or
mean, the Panera was my favorite just because it was the first one. Like to see a deal go through like A through Z.
Knowing it works, it's like.
But making deals with Amanda is like a little scary. It's like a little fun. It's like a lot of excitement. I don't know if I go through that many emotions with anything.
Yeah, no, it's definitely.
No, I think how is it seeing like, I mean, obviously Chris is a different example, but like seeing one of the people you brought in close their first deal. Like, how did that feel for you?
It's interesting, honestly. Like, so bringing people in is like, I've been nervous about it, honestly, because I don't really trust anybody.
Nah, you should be.
I can't stand people. And like,
I was reluctant on it for so long.
yeah.
Have to be.
Thank you.
Have to be.
Well, I think you're like a given, you know. It's like you're probably way less nervous about bringing Joe in as opposed to other people. Like,
I don't even think nervous is the right word, but it was definitely
time consuming. Honestly, like
it's really time consuming.
The problem with doing it is foregoing your time, which is the most valuable asset in the world.
For sure.
There's nothing, you could get a lot of shit back, a lot of money back, but your time, and it's like, it's a big investment into somebody. Joe's different, but I'll use somebody else. It's like, to somebody you don't know. Like, that's a big investment to devote 9 hours of your day, 10 hours of your day,
And the hopes
trying
it
to
works
teach
out.
someone who knows they're not going to make money, but doesn't understand not making money for 6 months. Like, we usually just say 6 months, 6 to 8 months is like the timeline. Like,
it's interesting because you bring somebody in and like you don't know if they're gonna have the same mentality towards it as you do. Like everybody, I feel like starts out with like so motivated and so excited.
2 weeks, bro.
And you give it 2 weeks, and it's like you see who
that's
kind
the make or
of.
break, yeah.
Because that's the thing. Like it was great watching, you know, a homie close his deal, but at the same time, I don't feel like he was really like he tapped out after the 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you know, I think the joy comes when you see somebody change their life more so than make the deal. Like, it's great getting like a little override. You know, it's cool to watch somebody like be able to see something through A through
they
Z.
start to do 5, 7, and all of a sudden they're making like 200,000 a year. And you're like, you see them move out. Yeah, definitely. That's
the joy. Yeah. Like, even just watching you evolve. Like, obviously we don't go way back. I met you through working at the job, but to see you in the past year, you know, evolve as an individual. I don't know how much money you made, but I could see that, like, you know, you really mature when it comes to, you have a car, the apartment, you know, the girl, everything. Baby. It's baby. I didn't know I was even put it out there. You got a baby coming. It's like, it's amazing to watch an opportunity somebody could give. Like the way Adam gave you an opportunity, you know, we all have that same opportunity from him, and to see how many people slowly evolve and find like fulfillment and joy. Yeah, it's like incredible.
I think he talks about that all the time, Adam. Like,
seeing us,
he always says like,
it's fulfilling for him. He likes seeing that younger kids coming in, working their ass off, and they're building a career for themselves, seeing them evolve into the person that they want to be, and just growing with that. He likes the ability to, I don't want to say like sculpt people's lives into who they're going to be, but like he likes seeing people evolve and grow.
Yeah, no, he definitely invests in potential. And like I say, even outside the job, like you guys have become some of my best friends in the world. You know, it's like I in my other job, I maybe have 1 or 2 people of the 50 or 60 that work there that I stay really close with. Like I could see at Silver, I'd be close to everybody forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
family.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting dynamic, and it's been like sick to just be involved for the year I've been involved. But like watching you guys is fucking inspiration galore.
I can't even imagine being there for like as long as like Stu and Chaff have been. Like imagine all of us in 10 years still grinding at it, just hanging out, like seeing all the younger kids coming in. This kid's gonna have a kid, like just the whole world, like our whole lives are gonna change in the next 5 to 10 years, and we're still gonna be doing our thing. It's like crazy.
Yeah, Adam tells me that, especially like me all the time. Like he remembers the first day I came in, like literally fucking nothing, bro. Like,
you know, I think your mentality is like unmatched. Like, I mean, even when I came in, it was like the first thing. He's like, you see that kid right there? That kid started like 2 years ago and he's fucking killing it. You could be like that kid. And like, as I've gotten to know you, like you're 10 years younger than me, and I'd fucking love to be half like you. Shit. The baby coming, how does that change things? Does it change things? Where's your head at now?
Change things in terms of like what?
I mean, I guess it's fresh, but like, are you approaching the business different? Are you approaching, because I know you're not going to be traveling as much, or are you?
Bro, traveling, I was telling Joe, I am so over traveling, bro. I swear to God, I don't want to get on another plane like in a fucking day of my life. Like, I'm so over it, but
so you have to show the baby the world.
He's been running around a lot.
To Disney a lot.
Yeah.
Never going back there. We know this.
What happened at Disney? That'll be the next episode.
Change the way I approach a business? No. I think what I've done has worked for me, and like really the only thing I know how to do is just like work hard. Like I think like you work hard enough, luck will find you. I think a lot of the business is luck and hard work. Like that's like probably 2 of the 3 things that you need to like be successful. So no, I'm not going to change anything. I haven't thought any differently. Everyone keeps, are you stressed? Are you worried? Like, no, I don't know. Like,
are you excited?
Definitely excited.
It's so funny.
Shout out baby mama.
He approaches life like a quarterback for real. He's like, I'm not nervous. I'm just going out and throwing the ball.
No, but I don't know. I don't think anything would be put on my plate that I couldn't handle. Like everything comes to me when it needs to come to me. Comes to me. Everything like happens for a reason. I'm like a big believer in that. So I don't think that I'm gonna say God, but whoever like you believe in above would put it on my plate if I couldn't handle it. So I just take it as it goes, jump over the hurdles as they come, and just that's how I always have like lived my life.
I love it.
It's exciting.
What
you got coming up, Joe Angelini?
The uncle life.
Yeah, no, I'm going to be an uncle with this kid. You know,
he's probably more nervous than you.
I'm learning Polish and shit. Like, I'm learning to speak different languages. I'm excited, dude. I can't wait. A little baby boy just hanging out with him. You know, it's the uncles. It's like we're going to hang out.
Is it a boy? Is it going to be a boy?
Yeah.
Oh.
Nah, you're good. I thought I told you.
No, you told me. I think you said it was gonna be a girl.
I wanted it to be. We both wanted it to be a girl.
Look at that. You see, God gives you what you need, man. Not what you want.
It's just gonna be cool having like a little guy just hanging out. Like that's the boy
sick.
right there.
What would you tell your son about real estate? You gonna tell him get into real estate? You gonna have him on the phones?
Bro, I want my son to do whatever he wants to do. I feel like I was influenced so much as like a kid to do certain things that I was like maybe that I grew out of, but like felt the need to also like do it maybe because I was good at it, or maybe just because like I don't know, I was told to do it or I did it my whole life, you know. So I don't want to make him play football. I don't want to make him play anything, do anything he doesn't want to do. Like he has to be influenced in some way, of course, but I like
a sense of direction.
Yeah, but I'm not forcing anything upon that kid a day in his life.
What if he says, "I want to work in a steel yard"?
Go for it. go see Uncle Joe.
Go see Uncle Joe.
Ask him about some stories.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, nah. I gotta say. I mean, unless you guys want to add anything, I just gotta say you guys are the fucking goats. I love working with you. I'm so motivated, inspired by you guys. And I feel like there's gems in here that people are going to pick up that are going to be like invaluable. Like the fact that you guys are so young and doing so well, it's not coincidence. You know, these guys don't come from money. It's not like you knew somebody. You really just took the time to kind of evaluate what your opportunities could be. He took a chance on you, and you took a chance, you know, on Adam and Ice and seeing what happened there, and it seems like the swag is blossoming and it's evolving to be like amazing.
Yeah, they always say like the hardest part is starting.
How did you feel getting into the job? Like, were you nervous at all? Like,
Yeah.
What did you expect going into it?
I feel like I hit a point in my life where I just gave no fucks.
We talked about this at lunch at Toku, bro.
Yeah.
it's different when you're at the bottom and like literally the fucking bottom.
What do you have to lose?
Not much scares you, bro. It's scarier now. I think my life is scarier now than it's ever been in my life, and it's going to continue to get scarier.
Yeah.
But that's also what will continue to motivate me forever. But to start when you have nothing, like what are you going to lose? Where are you going to fall to? Yeah. You're already there.
Mm-hmm.
I get what you're saying. It's like scary when you have it. And then
so to me, the whole year when I was like, oh, I'm not making any money, but it was like, the fuck? Like, I don't have any money anyway. So, like, what, I'm not losing anything, but the only thing I'm gaining is knowledge. Like, and I'm putting myself in the opportunity to make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year.
See, for me, it was like to the people. Like, I worked in radio. A lot of people just stab you in the back. A lot of people didn't give a fuck. You would think you're friends with somebody and they wouldn't be straightforward. Like, coming into this business and being around you guys, I feel like there's a team that really wants to see each other win. Yeah. You know, I think for me, that was the biggest thing. Like the money I figured would come. I didn't realize it was going to come how it did come. Like, you know, it kind of was like crazier than I anticipated. But I feel like for the first time, I didn't give a fuck about money. I didn't care about, you know, doing things that were just like everybody will say, oh, radio, you meet celebrities. Like it's the best. Like you can't beat that lifestyle. And like to some extent, it's like the lifestyle is great, but it's only great if you feel great. And I don't feel like the people I was around were helping me feel great. And it like my mentality became very much, you know, like I just needed to feed off of whatever I could feed off of. Where here, it's like I just love the energy. Like the energy almost feeds me without me having to even go out and look for it. And, you know, I want to be in the office. I want to be making calls. I love, you know, making deals and working with you guys and being able to just see what I'm capable of and get the support to be like, you're doing a good job, you know?
Do you feel like there was like a breaking point that forced you over that edge to not give a fuck anymore?
I don't know.
I
feel like the shit that happened with radio, like I really got to a place where I was doing a job that I didn't enjoy doing. Like it started ruining music for me, honestly. That's like crazy. Yeah, like growing up, I always loved music. Like the same way I'm sure you love football. Like I know you're into the cars. Like I loved music, and it went from like, oh, okay, I'm working on shit that really is bringing me joy to like, oh man, I gotta talk to this person today, and I gotta play commercials, and it's like how I was saying earlier with like police or with teachers. I think there's so many things that, you know, go into these businesses that we don't realize and nobody's straightforward about with us. You know, it's when you go to teaching school, I'm sure they're not talking to you about like, all the bullshit that happens in the business of teaching.
Cards and all the fucking tedious shit, yeah.
You go to the police academy, they're teaching you how to shoot guns, they're teaching you strategy, and then you get out and they're like, here's how you write a ticket. You know, and it's like, you kind of start losing the joy. And I feel like this job, you know, it wasn't about getting into it because I enjoyed like the idea of the business. It was more so just like, I love the people that I'm around and let me see what comes of it. And, you know, I was surprised that anything came of it. Like, at first, I didn't know if it was going to work. You know, it's like what you said. You know, they tell you, like, yeah, just keep going. Like, it'll be good. Like, and you're like, yeah, you know, but I got, like, literally 2 cents in the bank. And, like, I'm flipping cookies to fucking get by every week.
Cookies are gas. Shout out.
Thanks.
Cookie chemist.
But that's it. Like, I love making cookies because it's on my own terms. And I feel like coming to Silver, you know, Adam gave us the opportunity to be able to make our lives what we want it to be on our own terms. You come in, you work hard, it works. If you don't work hard, it's not going to work for you. And, you know, I just think that it wasn't so much taking a chance on the business as it was taking a chance on like the people. And, you know, like, I think anybody who's watching this, anybody who knows Adam, it's like, what better people to take a chance on?
It's also taking a chance on yourself.
Well said.
How hard you want to work. Like, it's really comes down to you. This business is
you quickly like realize what you're made of in this business. Like, you take a long look at yourself in the mirror, like after 6 months of not making money, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, seriously.
Yeah.
It takes like,
it keeps you on your toes.
It will eat you alive if you let it.
Yeah.
Like,
but no, I'm hyped to be learning it. Like, honestly, I've had conversations with people that, you know, just about real estate, like how you say, like, you could own a Taco Bell. It's crazy. Like, I started learning so much about that. And now to like talk to people and say like, yo, you could kind of do other things. I'm seeing a lot of people that I worked with in music, like, yo, how do I get into real estate? And I just think over time, you know, being able to kind of share the wealth of knowledge that I have with people that are able to hopefully use that and change their own situation. I mean, I have Bruno and Scally working with me. You know, with us, there's some of my best friends for years. Like, to be able to see them have some opportunity to make their lives better is sick. To watch you guys evolve is sick. Like, I feel like I'm gonna be an uncle too. You know, it's like, it's amazing.
Everyone needs an Uncle Mike.
But I never got that anywhere else. You know, seriously. So I'm super grateful for you guys for coming today and for fucking stepping it up every day. No cap.
We're grateful for you.
yes.
Amen.
Always.
I don't know if you guys want to promote anything, but feel free. I'm used to talking to like rappers. I'm used to like fucking like the end Smoke Perps. Like, all right, now check out my new album, man. Like, I don't know if you guys have anything you want to promote. Real estate.
Shout out this kid being a dad.
Yeah, big up to Enzo being a dad, man.
Shout
it's
out
major.
Jess. Love you. Love you, baby.
Well,
that's the only person I need to shout out for the rest of my life.
We'll do this again next time. You're gonna shout out the baby. You're gonna be like, yo, shout out my son out
I'll be sitting here
representing.
I'll bring him.
You're gonna learn how to swaddle.
We're gonna ask him a couple questions.
Yeah, we'll have to do a dad episode.
Bet.
I'm a stepdad. You know, I jumped in at like 5 years old, so I didn't have to learn the swaddling thing.
I got you. I got you.
All right. Well, until next time, I'll see you guys Monday.
Sure.